family. Welcome to this fourth installment in this series entitled Extreme Marriage Makeover. If you were not able to see the other videos, we want you to go ahead and take a moment to look at those videos. The first video talked about the act of forgiveness and the importance of that. The second video talked about the art of communication and how it is important to communicate with your spouse. The third video talked about trust and its importance. Please take a moment and go through and look at those videos. They're not long at all. We touch the topics and jump off of them, and we believe that you will get some information that will be helpful to you. Today we have another great topic, another thing that we feel is vital in making over your marriage and being able to experience the marriage that God has for you. Today I have my lovely wife with me, and she's going to help out with this topic.
Amen. We are going to be talking about intimacy on this edition. Very interesting topic.
My favorite. My favorite.
Very interesting topic, very important topic. It's a very important, very vital component to the marriage relationship, right?
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
It's very important. One of the things that we always talk about is how distorted the word even sex has become, and how we really need to take back, the importance of intimacy and the importance of sex and recreate it to what originally ordained for it to be in marriage.
It's become taboo.
Right.
A lot of times we don't talk about it in church. We don't talk about it in youth groups. We don't talk about it in the specific places where it should be discussed. And as a result, well, you see the results of it not being discussed, and the fact that we have allowed our point of reference to be given to us by outside entities like the media and movies and music and our friends. And after a while it becomes distorted and contorted, and we find ourselves far away from what God intended it to be.
Exactly. God intended for this to be. This is the only way that a couple can become one, right?
I agree. It is the only way that a couple can become one, and being one is important in a marriage. Without oneness, this falls apart.
Amen. I agree. So I guess we'll just jump right into what we were talking about.
I'll let you take care of it.
Okay, so what we were talking about, it's very difficult for us as women. A lot of the times we have a lot going on. We have the family to take care of. We have our spouses to take care of. We have our household, to maintain. And it's very difficult for us, as opposed to men, to be where we're supposed to be in the mood. And so how do we work on that?
Well, I think with us personally, I think that it's important for me to be attentive, and it's important for me to be able to recognize those times where there are other things that need to take place, whether it be affection, whether it be communication, whether it be forgiveness, whether it be trust, all of those things that we talked about. Sometimes you may have to incorporate those things and work on those things first. And those things help to pave the way or open the path, as it will, for you to get to intimacy. We talked about in communication the fact that mastering that art of communication is a key to developing intimacy. And so sometimes with us, we have to look at those other areas first and make sure that those other areas are where they should be.
Right. I know that if we don't communicate, if I don't talk to you and tell you how I'm feeling stressed right now, I'm feeling this right now, even if I'm feeling good, you're not going to be able to gauge off of that how I'm feeling. And so you can't come in and be like, I need to be intimate with you right now. May not be a good time. And if it's not a good time, then I need to let you know, when would be a good time. I can't just be like, no, it's not working for me, and walk away and leave you like that.
I agree. And if you're looking for specific points, you want to talk. You want to communicate. And go back and watch that video on communication. You want to communicate. The second thing you want to do is be observant. A lot of times we're not observant, and we're not observant because we're selfish. So you want to be unselfish. Those are the three things that you want to be, and you want to make sure that you incorporate in developing intimacy. You want to communicate. If you don't know what your spouse's likes and dislikes are, then you're not going to be fulfilling their needs.
Right.
You have to be observant. Once you know what those things are, you have to be observant and know when to plug in certain things and when to pull back from certain
Right.
things. And you cannot be selfish.
Right.
It can't just be all about me. This is the need that I need met. I need it met right now. So you want to keep those three things in mind.
And also, I think to add to that, I would say it's a good thing to plan. It's a good thing. Sometimes spontaneous, happenings is a great way for it to go, but it doesn't always go that way. I know for me, a lot of the time, I have to plan. And so if I start from in the beginning of the day, however I plan, preparing myself, mentally, physically as well, and also, to let you know, I may send you a text, can't wait to see you later, looking forward to date night, looking forward to when we come home from date night. It's a great way to prepare yourself is to plan. Sometimes you just have to plan intimacy.
You have to. I agree. And it does work. This is something that is important. Mm-hmm. It's a type of glue for your relationship.
Yeah.
A lot of times this leads it's a cycle, if you will. Mm-hmm. Those things that we talked about that you want to work on, the communication and not being selfish and being observant and being forgiving and trusting, all of those things lead you into intimacy. Mm-hmm. And as a result of that intimacy, you are more inclined to go and do those things that we just talked about. So you want to create that cycle. And one of the best ways to create that cycle is for you to come together in an intimate way. Right. Sex was created by the Creator himself. Mm-hmm. He told Adam and Eve to be fruitful and to multiply. Mm-hmm. And so it's not something that is bad. It's not something that is taboo. It's something that you can talk about with your spouse. You can tell your spouse what you like, what you don't like. And you guys can develop this thing in a way that works for you.
Yeah. I also would like to add, sometimes I know with me, my past had a lot to do with how I was feeling about sex. And I had to come to terms with that. I had to really pray to God and say, I want to be the wife that you have ordained for me to be for my husband. Let my past be my past. How do you want me, God, to deal with this so that I can be the wife that I'm supposed to be for my husband? I had to deal with my past in order to become this new creation for my husband. You have to deal with your past, if that's necessary.
And that's a great preview to the next video. We're just going to give you a little glimpse into the next video. The next video is going to talk about being able to let go of the past. Mm-hmm. And that is very important. We don't want to get into it too much now because we're going to touch on that video. But we want to leave you with this because we don't want to keep you too long. It is important for you to develop an intimate relationship and work intentionally to making sure that intimacy is a consistent part of your marriage. Mm-hmm. You want to make sure that you are being observant. You want to make sure that you are communicating. You want to make sure that you are not being selfish, and you want to make sure that there is consistency. Mm-hmm. All right? Mm-hmm. So, go forth, have fun. I'm trying to shut this video down as soon as possible. You got me? But on a serious note, we want you to be intimate. We want you to experience everything that God has for you in your marriage. All right? So we want to leave you with that. So with that being said, God bless. And until next time.
Come on, babe.
All right. Take care. God bless.